Dear students, today we will take a small topic from chapter 3 Private, Public and Global Enterprises, that is departmental undertakings. In your previous class, you might have studied about Indian economy, how the activities of Indian economy are divided, which economic pattern we have, economic system pattern India has adopted, all those things, and the chart where how public and private sector enterprises are divided in India. So one of the important public sector undertaking is departmental undertaking. As we have already seen in your previous class, that India has adopted mixed economic pattern where public sector as well as private sector equally plays a very important role in all the economic activities of our country. So first we'll see departmental undertakings as one of the important type of public sector enterprises. Now departmental undertaking, it's not new, it's the oldest and most traditional form of organizing public enterprises. In India, this is very famous departmental undertakings because it is just the extension of government. Here you are not starting any independent a company or independent enterprise. It is just the extension of ministry or just the extension of government. These enterprises are established as departments of the ministry and are considered part or an extension of the ministry itself. As I have already told, they are not the independent organization, they are just extension or considered as a part of department of the ministry. The government functions through these departments and the activities performed by them are an integral part of the functioning of the government. So what happens, there are so many activities government has to do. So government divides these activities or these functions into different departments. So these are the integral part of the functioning of the government. So they are not separate, they are one, it is only extension of the government. They have not been constituted as autonomous or independent institutions and as such are not independent legal entities. So departmental undertakings are not independent entities, or they don't, we cannot call them as autonomous institute or we cannot call them as independent institute because they are not, they don't have independent legal entity status. They act through the officers of the government and its employees are government employees. So whoever, whenever there are vacancies, government recruits employees, those employees will become as government employees. How the department function, the department function through the officers of the government. These undertakings may be under the central or the state government and the rules of central state government are applicable. So mostly who owns these departmental undertakings, either the central government or the state government. Whose rules regulations are followed, either central government rules are followed or state government rules are followed. Examples of these undertakings are the traditionally in India, railway is not privatized. It is considered as one of the important departmental undertaking. So railways is the best example for departmental undertaking, as well as post and telegraph department. So they are just extension of the government, and here now in India we have railway minister. So for each department there will be a concerned minister who will be looking after all the departmental undertakings and who is answerable for the government for whatever the reasons or whatever happens in the department. The in charge minister is answerable to the government. So one important thing, they are not autonomous institutions or be a minister in charge of that particular department who will be undertaking all the activities. Control will be in his hand. another thing, he is directly answerable to the government. There are features of departmental undertakings. First feature is the funding of these enterprises come directly from the government treasury and are annual appropriation from the budget of the government. So as I said, this is just extension of the government itself. So funding will also be done by the government through government treasury. So in annual budget, every year the finance minister announces the budget, and in that budget the appropriation of funds or distribution of funds is decided by the finance minister, and they get the outlays from the government to run the department. So when they are receiving the funding or they are receiving the funds from the government, means whatever revenue is generated or whatever revenue is earned by such department is also being sent or transferred to the government treasury. So funds, who does the funding of governmental undertakings? It is directly the government, and whatever revenue is generated in these departmental undertakings, those revenues are also paid into the treasury of the government. Second one is, they are subject to accounting and audit controls applicable to other government activities. So departmental auditing is not free from auditing, not free from accounting. Yes, they also undergo the process of auditing. The employees of the enterprises are government servants, and their recruitment and conditions of service are the same as that of other employees directly under the government. So once the employees are recruited in departmental undertakings, they become government employees, and the rules to be followed in case of the government employees, it is as same as other government departments are there, or other employees of the government. Now these particular departmental undertakings are headed by IAS officers, that is Indian Administrative Service, and civil servants who are transferable from one ministry to another ministry. So a person or the department is headed by IAS officers and the civil servants. Their jobs are not non-transferable jobs, their jobs are transferable jobs, means they can be transferred from one ministry to another ministry. But important thing, the employees who are recruited in the departmental undertakings, they enjoy the right of being the employees of the government and other benefits as employees from the government. It is generally considered to be a major subdivision of the government department and is subject to direct control of the minister. So obviously I have said it is a subdivision of government department, and here there will be one minister in charge of that particular department, and who can exercise the direct control on the departmental activities. They are accountable to the ministry since their management is directly under the concerned ministry. So there are 5 features. Departmental undertakings are those where the government functions of the government are just extended into different departments. There will be one in charge ministry who will be looking after the entire department and who is directly answerable to the government. Departmental undertakings are funded by the government itself. In annual budget, appropriation of funds, distribution of funds is decided, outlays are decided by the Ministry of Finance. Like how they are receiving the funds from the government, same way whatever revenue is generated in these departmental undertakings, those revenues are paid in the treasury of the government. Employees of the departmental undertakings are the government employees, the department is headed by IAS officers, and their jobs are transferable jobs from one ministry to another ministry. Thank you.